he and the Labour Party are terrified and petrified of the progress of reform.
Starmer under fire as Richard Tice slams Labour over migration pressures. You're not going to believe what just happened. Richard Tice, the outspoken leader of Reform UK, has just unleashed a blistering attack on Keir Starmer and the Labour Party. And the issue: migration, council resources, and what he claims is a government burying its head in the sand. This wasn't a calm debate. This was fire, fury, and frustration spilling out live for the entire country to see. So let's break it down: what Tice said, why Starmer's under pressure, and how this clash could shift the balance of British politics in ways nobody saw coming. It started with a heated interview where Richard Tice didn't hold back. With his trademark bluntness, he accused Labour councils of being overwhelmed, stretched to breaking point by what he described as record levels of migration putting unsustainable pressure on housing and services. Starmer, for his part, had just defended Labour's approach, promising compassionate but controlled migration policies, insisting that Britain could balance economic need with social stability. But Tice wasn't buying it. He fired back, saying, "People can see with their own eyes. Local councils are crumbling. Schools are overcrowded. Housing lists are growing. And Labour keeps pretending everything is fine. Enough is enough." That was the line that lit up social media. Now, here's why this matters. For months, the migration debate has been simmering in Britain, pushed to the side by talk of inflation, the NHS crisis, and leadership struggles inside the Conservatives. But Tice's explosive comments just shoved it right back to the front page. And here's the kicker. Many Labour councils have already admitted they're facing mounting pressure, with rising costs and growing demand for housing and social services. But they frame it as an issue of funding, not migration. That's the political tightrope. Do you admit the system is strained, or do you double down on the idea that Britain can handle it? Tice, clearly, wants to blow that debate wide open. Public reaction has been fierce, divided, and emotional. One Twitter user posted, "Richard Tice is saying what everyone in my community knows: the system can't cope anymore." But another shot back, "This is scaremongering. Councils have been underfunded for years, and now they're blaming migration instead of Tory cuts." Inside Westminster, the whispers are getting louder. One Labour insider reportedly told a journalist, "This is the nightmare scenario. We're trying to present Labour as calm, in control, ready for government, and now we're being painted as blind to the pressures people are facing." Meanwhile, a Conservative backbencher gleefully tweeted, "Richard Tice is doing our job for us. Labour can't admit what's happening on their watch." But let's step back for a second. Why is this story so explosive? Because it cuts straight into the heart of Britain's most emotional debate: the balance between openness and stability. Migration has always been a pressure point. From the Brexit referendum to small boat crossings in the Channel, it shapes votes, fuels headlines, and defines elections. And right now, the ground is shifting again. Keir Starmer wants Labour to look reasonable, trustworthy, balanced, a government in waiting that can calm the storm. Richard Tice, on the other hand, thrives on anger, urgency, and raw frustration. When those two narratives collide, sparks fly. And that's exactly what happened. Here's where it gets even more dramatic. Tice didn't just go after Labour councils. He went after Starmer personally, accusing him of ducking the hard truths and pretending problems don't exist. He even suggested that Labour's strategy was nothing more than spin designed to keep the party's image clean ahead of the election, while ignoring what people were living through on the ground. Starmer responded cautiously, saying Britain should be proud of its diversity, but also pragmatic about its capacity. That careful lawyer's tone: deliberate, measured, safe. But did it land? That's the question. Because while Starmer plays the long game, Tice knows how to grab headlines in the moment. And in modern politics, sometimes the moment is everything. And this is where things could get dangerous for Labour. If the public starts to believe Tice's framing that Labour councils are on the brink, that Starmer is hiding the truth, it could open the door for Reform UK to peel away working-class voters who once stood firmly behind Labour. Already, Reform has been climbing slowly in the polls, capitalising on Conservative disarray. A few percentage points here or there could reshape key constituencies, especially in areas where Labour needs to rebuild trust after years of Brexit division. And remember, politics is about perception. If the perception is that Labour is out of touch, That perception alone can cost them dearly. The reactions keep pouring in. One local councillor in Birmingham told a radio show, "We're working flat out." Yes, demand is rising. But blaming migrants is a distraction. The real issue is chronic underfunding from central government. Meanwhile, a reform supporter wrote online, "Finally, someone is telling the truth. Tice is saying what Starmer won't." This split in opinion isn't going away. In fact, it's widening. So where does this leave us? On one side, you've got Keir Starmer trying to keep Labour steady, presenting himself as the responsible adult in the room. On the other, Richard Tice, hammering away at the cracks, demanding Labour face what he calls the reality. And somewhere in between, millions of British voters, watching closely, wondering who's really telling them the truth. And here's the question. If this was just one fiery exchange, what happens when migration pressures, housing shortages, and political battles collide in the heat of a general election? Because one thing is clear, this debate isn't going away. It's only just beginning.